All right, dirtbags, we are filming from inside the dilapidated mess shack, aka my house. It's pretty apparently obvious that I'm renovating in here. Long story short, a lot of changes happening in 2021. I'm actually doing a lot of work inside of this house. I'm trying to move back into it out of my apartment. And you can see kind of like the kitchen right there. Like I've been working on a bunch of stuff. Me and my family, we're getting ready to do a lot of crazy stuff, along with the other millions of projects that I got going on. Is that lens clean yet? But anyway, essentially, videos are going to start slowing down a little bit for obvious reasons. And I just wanted to let you guys know that I am not stopping to make videos, or I'm not ceasing to make videos. They're just not going to be as frequent. Still enjoy making videos. I really like it. And I'm going to keep giving you guys updates. It's just not going to be as many of them. But turbo truck is almost done. 55 is next on the chopping block. Literally right behind me is, through that wall, is Walter's Trans Am. And maybe a sneak preview of something else I got working on. What is this? We're back at the shop. It's early. There's a dog that hates everybody. Trying to get some work done on the truck. It's after the holidays. I'm feeling extra fat, and it's time to get some work done on the turdo truck. Check it out. What we got going on here today, I ended up springing for the $30 extra Chinesium oil pressure tester kit, just basically for that fitting right there. I was kind of halfway hoping, like it has this little quick connect right here, but much to my chagrin, it does not hook up to that OTC gauge, so I'm not really super tripping about that. And moving right along, ended up getting me some goodies for Christmas. Gonna end up replacing the intake gaskets on this thing just because these right here, I could almost like literally peel flakes of the O-ring off of it with my fingers. That, and I generally just kind of like cleaned up this intake a little bit. Intake air temp sensor and the freeze plug are holding in pretty good. Thing I had to do with these Siemens Deca 80 pounders is, now if you could look at this thing, these injectors are in here kind of canted a little bit backwards, like in opposite the other side. When you increase the height of your injector rail, that means these holes on both sides are going to be slanted backward and slanted forward. And when I had this bolted into the truck, it was kind of cattywampus a little bit. I just kind of snugged it down to where I thought it would work. And when I took this back out to clean everything on it, I noticed like on my O-ring, there's like a little wear mark where it was like tilted backwards. So I think that was giving me a little bit of a vacuum leak. But other than that, just did some like vacuum line cleanup. I just kind of found like some fittings to put in the fuel pressure regulator right there. Also on the injector rail, to like line this injector rail up, what I ended up doing was with some carbide bits, I just kind of wallered these holes out a little bit. I put studs in here, and these are just like some random 10 mils that you can just find off of any of these trucks. So now when you look down here, all these will perfectly line up and the injectors are nicely seated into the intake. Also, I was watching the sloppy radio where they had A21 Bravo on, Hunter Tuned, and Matt were all talking about how they're using thicker oil, and which is interesting because such a cold climate that they live in. I've tried like all kinds of thick oil in these engines, and I live in Texas, so it's like every thick oil that I used, it always just sounded like there was like $15 and change just rattling around in the engine. Like the lifters just didn't like it. Another thing that they were talking about, Matt's buddy Cameron, he put a AC Delco filter on his engine, and he was talking about it. I was like, man, like when you cold start this thing, it just rattles really bad. So Matt was talking to him like he put a K&N filter on his for fun. It really stopped a lot of the noise. So now I'm curious. Also, AC Delco was bought out by Fram, and I didn't know that. So what I'm curious is, I'm gonna try the Wix filter right here, or K&N, like whatever, pick your flavor. For a good filter, I've always just used the Wix one. And I'm gonna use this oil just because I have it laying on the shelf. And we're gonna dump it in here, see how it likes it. And then after this, when I change the oil again, I'm gonna use the thicker, like Rotella T4 or T6 or something like that, or like the VR1. It's like 20W50 is what everyone's using. So I'm curious to see how the truck likes that with the turbo setup and see how all that works out. But right now, we're going to get the tester hooked up, get my intake back on. I'm gonna start this thing, verify that I got good oil pressure that doesn't flutter around. Then I'm going to dump the oil, put the new stuff on, and if it does flutter, I'm going to put the new filter on it, see if that fixes it at all with the new oil. Start it back up, see if it flutters, and if it does, and if it...
What's the matter with you, boy? You too stupid. Stupid!
I think we'll be in business. Put my new sanding unit back on and maybe take this thing around the block and go rip a log, as Goat Rope says. If you don't watch Goat Rope Garage, go check him out if you're into any HP tuner stuff with LS motors. All right, let's go. Dirtbags, it's a couple of days later. I've been driving the truck around more, and I actually thought that I hurt this thing. I was driving around, and all of a sudden I just got like no boost, and I'm like, what's going on here? Like, what's the problem? And did I hurt it? I've been looking around on this thing. I was like, well, maybe like, you know, one of my connections came loose on this janky stuff that I got on my my return or my regulator for my fuel rail. And then I took the grill off, and I found this dude, so that's cool. We can just button that back together. I got a couple of things I want to do to it today. I want to put this 10-pound spring in, and I got this boost controller. So we're going to play around with the boost a little bit more. I got the tune, getting it ever so dialed every day. And yeah, I also need to trim out my exhaust and my fender. It's banging into the fender a little bit. I just need to do a little bit of trimming on that, and that should be good. And then drive around, do some street tuning with you guys. Oh, also got a new tripod too, and a stick to hold this thing that's not so noisy, so that's nice. Vomit cam disengaged, but all right, let's go. All right, just got those parts thrown on. We're at the gas station. I just filled up some 93. And just out doing some data logging, basically till my laptop dies or this dies. Do a little bit of hell raising. All right. Come on, wake up. Wake up, truck. Last time I drove this thing around, we had like, it was like 137 kPa, which is like close to around 20 pounds or whatever. So you take 14.7, I think it is, out of that atmospheric pressure wherever you're at, and we're right around like 5-6 pounds. Okay, let's get out here. Oh, we left a little bit of marks on the road back there. Good. Definitely likes the more boost, the more boosties. Saw the steering wheel, boys. It's crazy. Like I see what everyone's talking about with the GT45 now. It just all comes in at like $5 grand. It doesn't care. It's like you take off, it's kind of nice, then wah, it just turns into an animal, just like that. We're gonna drop in on my buddy Rogelio. I think he's up at 40s and Shorties selling barbecue right now. Maybe get a little reaction video. About that, I'll just keep putting fluid in it. I don't want it to ruin the aesthetic of being a piece of crap. My sheet box. I don't see him up here. Oh, we did something. 143 kPa. What is that? Let's pull the calculator up here. If you're unfamiliar, HP Tuners actually has a calculator. I'm about to turn this brightness up. A calculator for this stuff. Tools. Unit conversion. Okay, let's go. KPA 1. Shit. 42. So 20 psi. So that's like another psi what we had before. So 7-ish, 8, 20 psi. It's good enough for me. It runs pretty good. It blows all terrains right off the back of it. Okay, save this one. I don't have enough battery to flash it one more time. Oh, it's scary. 18%. It's running good enough. I'm not going to do that this time around. I'm just going to flash it when I get back. We'll save this data log. I got my AEM error working. Goat Rope's got a good video on how to fix your AEM error to read a percentage plus or minus like 2% or whatever it is with a shading setting that you could do on here. And you basically just paste special that into your primary VE. Paste special like multiply by 0.5%, so you do half of what it is into your VE table. And you just kind of step gradually closer and closer and closer to really dialing your fuel in. And that's what we're doing right now.
1 hour later.
I just picked up my boy Rogelio. We had to go on a cheese run.
Some cheddar.
Some cheddar. I was just gonna take him for a ride in the truck real quick.
Yeah. We're running a little late, so I needed a quick ride.
You had to call your boy. That's my dad again, look.
I know, right?
Don't die on this turbo truck. Don't die. I've developed a huge exhaust leak. So my wideband is like pegged right now at idle.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah!
It's another sunny Sunday in Texas.
Sunday fun day. Some Sunday hell rides. That's what it is. I blew a boost tube off again. It blew off.
Oh yeah?
It would have pulled. Yeah. What'd you think?
Oh no, I dig it.
What you got? What you got going on? Oh!
Some little ribs.
Some little ribs.
I got some sausage. And this right here, boys.
Are you trying to park this?
Yeah,
Like, who is it?
my cousin.
Ooh!
Candy.
Some balagana.
Alone.
Well, you heard him. The verdict, the news is in. The truck is running. I got a new problem now. I keep blowing boost tubes off. I'll show you. The first one that we blew off was this one in there. Second one that blew off was that coupler right there. And then now this one just blew off, so it's a good problem to have, I guess. All right, guys, we'll catch you later. Be merry. Have a good 2021, and hope you enjoyed this truck update.
When I close my eyes in dreams, I'll kiss you once again. I'll pretend, yes, I'll pretend. And to be mine, I'll just pretend it. You're by my side. I'll pretend that we are walking down the aisle. Then I'll pretend that you are my blushing bride. I wish I knew what I did, dear, to make you treat me so. Were you pretending? Did you ever love me? In my dreams I'll try to find someone as sweet as you. I know I won't, dear, but I'll pretend. And when I take her in my arms and kiss her tenderly, I'll just pretend it. You're kissing me. I'll pretend that we are walking down the aisle. Then I'll pretend that you are my blushing bride. I wish I knew what I did, dear, to make you treat me so. Were you pretending?